Right. Good evening, everybody. Is this live to anybody? Or am I just talking to the wall for the time being? No, I'm just talking to the wall. Just myself. Hey, Dave. It was an imaginary voice in my head. How you doing? I really like this track. This is going to be my November pre-stream music choice. I was randomly linked in on YouTube, and I love it. It is a classic from Tim Follin, who's done many awesome tracks in the 80s and the 90s. Like, really good shit. And I liked it. I'd not heard this one before, so I thought I would pick it. Glad to hear that, Dave. Glad to hear it. So, welcome to Sweet State 40. For those who don't know what Sweet State 40 is, it is a monthly series where basically I talk about the state of the channel, let you all know what's happening, what has happened, and, you know, give an overview of everything happening with John Suitepee. So we cut away from the awesome Krager intro screen to a significantly less awesome me on a webcam. So, hello everyone. I have indeed got a haircut and shaved my beard. It's probably since the last time I did one of these a month ago. John who? You know, John Suitepee. Me, Dave. Me. Dang it. So, yeah. Where do I start? I know. How about we talk about the busy month that wasn't. The busy streaming month that didn't end up being busy for streams at all. October. So, the horror month, my favourite month of the year, has come past. And for all my plans to do horror-related shit for most of the month, I ended up instead having a dose of real-life horror on my doorstep for a change. So, first thing I'd like to say is I apologise somewhat for the lack of streams in October. At least this time it wasn't because I was playing World of Warcraft. There was a far more justifiable reason why I've been very busy and, you know, not able to stream as much as I'd like. And that's really where my personal situation has lied. For the last month I've been busy. Obviously the start of the month was pretty good. I got to see my nephew for the first time for a week, as well as my sister and her fiance. That was pretty cool. It was nice to spend some time with my nephew. Very adorable young lad. And it was good. Good times were had. You don't do children, eh, Dave? So, that was a thing, although obviously it ate into my plans for the month. I was more than happy to do that for getting to see my nephew for the first time. It was great. It was good work. Got some happy memories and it was fun, you know. And thankfully I didn't get too many sleepless nights. Somehow. You know, I guess work kept me busy as well. at the time. So that was the more pleasant part of the month. But that was documented. That was planned. That was known about. We knew that was coming. To the point where I took a live streaming break for an entire week to accommodate for it, which I did. Which meant I had to wait to play in Sound Mind for about another 2 weeks after its launch. But nevertheless, it came and went, and then it was back to the streaming again. Finally I thought, horror month can resume. So a third of the month may have gone, but I can salvage it. I could still stream. I could still do some spooky shit and have a good time in the horror month, even if Halloween falls on a Sunday. I go back to work the next day, which was today. Happy Day of the Dead, by the way. For that is what November the 1st is. It is the Day of the Dead in Mexico and other places that celebrate the Day of the Dead. And I did indeed manage to finally play in Sound Mind, and it was a good fun. And then I was going to play some other horror stuff, but it never happened because at that point the rather more unexpected occurrence to the month happened. In short, hey, Mia Pineapple, thank you for the sub. So what are we going to do to celebrate Day of the Dead and also my 3 years sub-anniversary? Well, not much right now. I'm going to talk about shit. And maybe you get to use some emotes. And maybe some fun will be had. Maybe. We'll see. I am a bit tired, to be honest. I didn't sleep too well last night. Damn storm kept me up a little bit. Fucking storm. Terrible. So I'm probably going to go to bed quite early tonight. Try and catch up on some sleep, because Tuesdays usually kick my ass at work. I usually do okay on Mondays, but Tuesdays, oh no. I don't do Tuesdays very well. Hey, Dino Maximo, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, then the second half of the month occurred, and this is where things went. What if for 3 years of subs, John does a Fortnite co-stream with me sometime? A Fortnite co-stream. Let me think about that. I wouldn't rule it out necessarily, but I'll tell you this: I don't like Fortnite. And the only reason I would play it is to stream with you. And I'd probably just spend most of that time goofing around. But won't exactly say, how can you stream for 2 weeks? That's impossible. Ugh. And here I thought that Lord Sergeant and Fazon were the pun masters. Goofing around is basically the point of Fortnite. Oh, well, sign me the fuck up then. Sorry, bit of itchy neck. I don't know. I we'll see. Pineapple, we'll see. Maybe. No pressure, but would be cool. LMK. Building a dinner on. Okay, cool. So, well, sure, people do want to see more co-op stuff. I'm just very rigid and busy and trying to get things done. But I may have to rethink how I do that type of. I'm too tired to properly articulate-ish, but I want to get this out and get it done. So anyway, second half of month doesn't go to plan. Now, for those who didn't keep up on, I didn't really put this on Twitter because Twitter didn't really fancy putting that kind of stuff on Twitter. really, but also because it was an ongoing thing. I've headed to my Discord channel mainly, and the occasional mention on a stream during the time. But for those who didn't know, my mum went in for a a big ban on a bot, and it's thankful that I have a automatic filter for that shit, so your stupid website doesn't even get linked. Please don't disappoint me. I like seeing first-time chats from viewers, not robots from somewhere selling Ponzi schemes and scam viruses to stupid people. Anyway, so as some of you may know, and maybe some of you don't, my mum went in for a cyst removal surgery about 2 weeks ago. This was a planned surgery. Luckily, she had been identified on a previous screening that she had this cyst growing in the ovary tubes, and because of that, they were able to get rid of it before it grew too big, although it was a sizable thing. So she went in for the surgery. It was a success. Everything was great. And then she was returned after a day out of hospital, so recovery should begin. But it was planned that she would be spending the next 2 months being unable to bend down a lot. She would need help with things, fair enough. But she would at least recover. She'd be able to get back to normal, as close to normal as possible. I would help out when I could, and everything would be great. And so the plan was to see how she did. But then it turns out that she was very ill for the next week after the surgery. She was very ill and not getting any better. She kept being sick. She was very tired most of the time. And while it was normal to have some side effects from a somewhat major surgery, they didn't stop. They got worse, which was not quite as normal. And it got to the point where my mum had, after a while, a few days of this, also coinciding with the fact that this was during, I think what definitely helped in this regard was that I had my half term happen at the worst part of the crisis as such. It got to the point where basically my mum wanted to get back to hospital and find out what the fuck was happening. But she called the 111 service, which is the non-emergency NHS hotline, which people are encouraged to call if they need assistance that's not like life-threatening. And she was told that she'd have to wait 13 hours for an ambulance to come and check her out. 13 hours. So, okay, we wait 13 hours. But then as the night progressed, the symptoms were getting really annoying, and my mum wanted an ambulance to come and check her out immediately. And so she rang 999 and was also told that she would have to wait for an ambulance for probably several hours. Because they're also busy with shit. Shit, it's almost like there's a pandemic going on or something. A goddamn pandemic. Yeah. So anyway, after waiting about another half hour to an hour of this shit, patients being tested, because we just want to get the fucking ambulance to her so she can get back. She wants to go back to hospital at this point, but she can't get any ambulance to go and take her there. It's decided, I'm very stressed out at this point because my mum is very ill and very tired and very all over the place. So anyway, while she's waiting for this ambulance to come, she goes upstairs to the bathroom, as she has been doing a few times on that day. This is about 10 o'clock at night, I might add. And she goes to the bathroom and she faints in the bathroom and nearly bangs her head open. Meanwhile, I was downstairs playing Dusk because I was just looking to kill some time. I was expecting that the ambulance would come in the next hour or something. I am expecting that while she is coughing all over the place, she is seemingly okay enough. She's obviously tired and a bit ill and a bit distressed, but she's not. Something like that wasn't on the cards. And needless to say that she luckily did manage to not bang her head open, but she was very shocked. And it is then the decision was then made that I would take her to the hospital myself, which is what I did. So at about 11:30 at night, I drive my mum to the hospital, and she gets booked in, thankfully. You know. So that was pretty stressful by itself, really. To see someone to be in that state with where she's supposed to be recovering, she is seemingly on the verge of being more ill. It wasn't pleasant and it wasn't very nice to go through. Now, it transpired. Then I have to wait to hear back from her, and there's not a lot of communications for the next few days. But the general gist is that they found out eventually what was wrong with her. And they found out that during the cyst surgery, somebody fucked up and accidentally obstructed her bowel somehow during this cyst removal surgery. And because of that, doctors for the win. And because of that, she's not able to digest anything really, and it's all coming back up. So it was pretty bad. And during this time, my mum becomes delirious, and she nearly died, apparently at one point. At least that's how she describes the experience. Thankfully, they got her in for another surgery, and thankfully, they managed to unobstruct the blockage without needing to remove any part of the bowel, so no stoma bag was required. And they managed to fix the problem. But during this time, communication is very sparse. But she did eventually pull through the surgery, which had which was very unpleasant for my mum to go through. You go through one surgery you're not looking forward to. You spend a week being ill from that surgery, which gets worse. If you go back, you nearly die. You then have another surgery, and then you start to recover properly. And so on Friday, I took her home in the afternoon, and she is now making a full recovery. As in, she is doing shit, she is being active, she sounds well, she's moving well, she sounds a lot better than she did when she came out of that initial surgery a week or so ago. She's actually doing A-OK now, everything's great, but for most of the month, it was just not knowing what was going to happen and being genuinely perplexed as to why my mum was continuing to feel the effects of the cyst surgery illness. So, it was not pleasant, and I did not cope with it the greatest, but I basically just didn't know what streaming was going to happen. I did go out quite a bit. To be fair, I did have some things to do, but it was very, I was a bit, bummed out, depressed by it. Not knowing what's going on, being a little concerned. And potentially I'm looking after someone who was more ill than I anticipated in that first week, and seeing it get worse and being like, is this how it normally goes down? I'm going to mom is doing okay, sure, what is this why it's because of Jeeves out me to ever to adjust my health to doctors. Pretty well, I guess, but I'm pretty sure these things don't happen very often. At least they managed to also fix what they caused. So it came out okay eventually. It just took a while to get to that point. And a lot of psychological trauma was inflicted in the process. Depends how competent the surgeons are, probably. But I'm not going to delve into that. As I said, I don't do politics on this channel, but I know that there is a history of NHS whistleblowing related cover-ups. Botched things and botched individuals exist. That's all I'm going to say to that. But anyway. So, with that in mind, things are now getting back to normal, and I can be happy in knowing that my mum is doing fine, that I don't have to worry about things for a while, and I am helping out a bit, but my mum is trying to do as much as she can herself. She's quite a bit. She's really pushed herself today while I've been at work, done a shitload of stuff, so she's very keen to get back to doing all the stuff she used to be able to do. Obviously I will have to help out with a couple of things, but it shouldn't impact the streaming that much. So what I can finally say is that my streaming schedule should be relatively normal for the next month and a half. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I just thought I would sort of share. Obviously there's some things I'm leaving out, like really personal stuff, but basically that's why my streams in October have been crap. I had my nephew over for a week, then there was a middle period where I had the chances, but then there was the surgery, the recovery, the return back to the hospital, and then waiting for the second recovery. So I've been fucking busy with real life shit, and all this, thankfully, most of the bad stuff happened during my half-term break, which meant I didn't really get a half-term break, a proper one anyway, where I could relax and unwind. As such, I got a half-term break where I was potentially facing, my mum being very ill. And hey, Vote, how you doing? So, yeah, I'm just glad that it worked out well for my mum in the end, and I can start getting back to doing the streaming I love a lot. As well. So yeah, that's why October was very sparse of actual horror streams. I played maybe 3 games. In Sound Mind, which wasn't that scary but was very creative. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion DLC, which was short and okay-ish, but eh. And Dagon, which was just a story that lasted an hour. Yeah. So, aside from that, the other thing that did happen in the last month was that I did qualify for a regional final tournament in Boca. I actually managed to get in to that, even though I finished 5th. The person in 4th place didn't want to attend the tournament, so I took their spot. So I will be at I played Dagon last week. Yeah, I have to be honest, I didn't really... Hey, Yugi Boy 85, thank you for the 43-month subscription streak. Revenant, Rocky Shotgun, no, Rocky Shotgun, Revenant, Tonk, Revenant, no, Craigasm. I think that's how you say that. How's it feel knowing that your name was mentioned in a Mount Pain video recently? Don't try to find any meaning in that message, by the way. There isn't. Well, I can't really see any meaning clearly from that. And maybe it's like a Morse code. I don't know. Yeah, you got mentioned. He was covering a few things for his Halloween special, and Tangerine Nightmare was one of the wads that he played and liked. So, you got your name mentioned alongside a few others. I actually played that for an Iron Eagle. I do wonder if I should revisit it someday. But I could say that about quite a few wads that I've played in Iron Man's down years. Yeah. So, okay, thank you for that, Pineapple. I'm not really here to discuss that kind of stuff. You know. When he released Icarus, he said, "Here's a hint: the next map has a WOD by Yugi Boy 85." Nice. So now Decino's played your Man on the Moon. Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing, Pineapple. I just don't care. I'm not interested. I'm just glad my mum's fine. That's all. You know. I mean, she might be considering pursuing some kind of action against what happened, but that's her decision. Anyway. So, I qualified for a poker regional final. At least that's a bit of good. You'll have to catch up on the Iron Man. Yeah, I don't know what this month's Iron Man is at the moment, but I know that Derek is running it. Even though you know who won, yeah. We'll get to that. We will be talking about the Uncle Bo a bit later. So, I qualified for a poker regional final, and because of that, I did take the opportunity during the half-term period to get in some extra games of practice. Quite a few, actually, which made for a very good distraction while I was going through what I did. Obviously, I wanted a lot of practice because I want to try and make the final table at the regional. Excuse me, for the first time. My previous best placement has been 15th out of a sort of about 150 odd people. So I want to get to the final table. I want to do well in a big tournament. And the regionals for me, at my level, are big tournaments. But yeah. And because of that, I have been playing a bit more poker than usual, which will continue for the next few weeks as the actual regional final day is the 21st of November. So 2 weeks on Sunday, I'll be at a regional poker final. So I need to get a good amount of practice before then. And that was a thing that has been happening. I mean, now I'm back at work, obviously my opportunities are a little bit more limited, but I could still attend an extra game here or there, and I may choose to do that. At least up to the regional final anyway. Please up after that a little bit. But anyway. And that's really been about it for my personal situation over the last month. It's been pretty busy and a little stressful, if I'm honest. That's all I have to say on that. Again, I am a bit tired tonight. That's why I sound the way I do. I'm not exactly super perky and active. I got about 3 hours sleep last night because of a storm, so I'm a bit tired, but I did want to get this out and I usually like to get these out at the start of the month so I can focus on the rest of the month after that. And November, I'm going to be very busy with quite a few things, which I will be talking about now, of course. Quite a few things indeed will be planned. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, gonna be deleting all that, but we'll keep the file, I guess. Indeed. So, the first thing that I was mentioning, now I've gone through all the personal stuff for the last month, is talking about what I'm going to be prioritizing quite a bit for the next month and a half. Hopefully not that long, if I'm honest. And that is, of course, the mapping streams. Because I am still very much planning on doing a map for the Doomworld Maximum project, which is the maps are due in at the end of the year. I have touched upon this last time, but I have made zero progress towards it because I've had a very busy October, obviously. But I am still intending on creating a map for it. However, the map is going to be a little different than what I had planned a month and a bit ago. I'm not doing the UDMF stuff anymore. I'm dropping out of I'm dropping out of doing the fancy UDMF stuff, I think. Or at least I'm dropping out of creating something that involves a complex gimmick, shall we say. Because UDMF, well, the only reason I would want to do a boom map is so that the UI on the builder is simpler to use and I'm more familiar with it. I'd love to use UDMF, but UDMF has so many fucking options, I'm not used to it. And I'd be far too tempted to delve into custom stuff. The bottom line is, I want to make a map, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, in truth. I want to make something small, a small map. Actual small map. Something I can, not quite a speed map, but something that is small and snappy, a bit like a Rook map from Sucker Punch, or actually precisely kind of like a Rook map from Sucker Punch, really. I still want some sort of mapping gimmick in the map, but I don't want it to be complicated. I want it to be quite a simple, fun map to play. Is the point. I don't want to go into UDMF because UDMF requires, I like the idea of the dogs and the kennel and all that stuff, but it's just going to require complications. I don't have the time. If I want to get a map out at all, it's probably going to be a fast map. Almost like a speed map, but I will put a bit more effort into it than just rushing out a speed map in 3 hours and calling it a day. But I'm not going to spend fucking 2 months on it either. I want this to be done in like maybe 2 weeks or something, where I just knuckle the fuck down, map, finish it, done. Then I can get back to everything else I need to do. Because I have so much shit I want to get on with. And I've always said this, and I will always stand by this, I prefer to play the maps instead of make them. And that has not changed. And if I do want to make maps, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. I want to like create something that's fast, snappy, and fun. You know, something that like you can have a bit of fun playing through for 5 minutes. It looks nice in the right places. There's a quirky little gameplay thing, a small one, not something like a firebox type thing where people get stuck, but like something as simple as, say, a certain texture corresponds to a certain enemy. I don't know, something small and simple and snappy I can teach the player quickly or something. Or incorporate it very quickly into the map. Or whatever. Maybe I'll just make a map that is just... Maybe I'll just ditch the gimmick idea and just have a map where I just think of an idea and just build a map around that. You know, maybe I'll just think of an idea to start the map and we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. But the point is that if I want to get this done, I'm going to have to focus on it pretty hard because I am terribly slow when it comes to mapping. So my big priority for the next month and a half will be to get a map finished. It will be quick. It will not be a massive firebox style endeavor. I will endeavor to make sure the map is no longer than about 5 minutes. Or if it is a lengthy map, it's not because of its size. It's because of its difficulty or some shit. I don't fucking know. I just want to make something simple. Just so I can contribute and then I can move on. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I got very fixated on the idea of a gameplay game. I didn't realize I could just make a map that is fun. You know. And I want to do that. I mean, another day I might make a map that is a gimmick thing. But I just don't want to do maps that much. You know, I'm happy to do an occasional one every now and then. This is, you know, but I'd rather just play them. I got plenty to play and plenty I should be playing. But yeah, I like the idea of just create an idea. I have ideas for quirky little fights and stuff like that if I can carry them out, you know. I'm sure I could think of something that is fun, you know. I might just make a really simple map that's like, looks nice. I don't know, just something simple and fun, you know. There's some quirky gameplay fights in it, and that's it. So, you'll be seeing a lot of mapping streams. You will actually see a lot of mapping streams for the next month. Because another thing I have to bear in mind is that around the Christmas period, and I will say this ahead of time, around the Christmas period, I am planning to visit my sister for a Christmas meal. Pending that, you know, we don't get shafted for another year because of COVID. You know, the government panics, doesn't allow travel. We're hoping to go visit my sister for Christmas this year for a couple of days. So, essentially, that rubs out a good few days from the end of the year. And then, obviously, it's Christmas and it's New Year. I'm going out in the year. The bottom line is, I do not, unlike with Firebox, I do not want to be doing anything mapping related going into that December period. I want to be done by the end of this month, if possible. I'd really like to wrap this up by the end of the month, this mapping thing. I'd want to visit my sister this year, but I don't have a sister. But yeah, I like your idea of a small gimmick pineapple. I just need to think of one that's doesn't require me to spend 6 hours figuring out how to make it work on a map. That's all I need. Once I have that, the map will follow. And it won't be a great map. It's not going to be a Firebox epic. Not that Firebox is very epic anyway, but it's not going to be like something where I sort of spend 2 months on it. It's going to be like something I'd ideally like to do it in 2 weeks. Spend 2 weeks, get it done, get it tested, fucking there's a map. It's not like I'm expected to do anything big. I could make a map that lasts 2 minutes, and as long as it's fun, that will count. I don't want to necessarily do that, but hey, I feel like making a quick, snappy map. That's what I want to do. I'll make a quick, snappy map with a couple of fun fights, and that's it. You know. Essentially a bit like Firebox, just minus the final. You know, I'd happily make another map like Firebox, just scrap the last room with the big slaughter fight. No big slaughter fight. At least not unless that big slaughter fight is the entire map or something. I don't know. I need to lean away from being tempted to go into another slaughter fight again, an accessible slaughter fight tier thing. Even though I'd really like to do that, because I like accessible tier slaughter fights. Yeah, although I feel without the last room it wouldn't have had its punch. I like Firebox. I still really liked Firebox. It's a labor of community love, you know. There's little pieces of quite a few people who chipped in over that period, you know. Make sure there's at least one sector toilet. I don't know. I'll have to think about the Doom Cute stuff, but I don't know. I thought that one room was a pretty decent punch. You mean the God Spear fight? Yeah, that was like that's the fight I'm the most proud of created. The God Spear Revenant Archvile fight. I thought that was really well done. I pretty much carried out I pretty much went full slaughter and accidentally bumbled into an interesting fight. I'd like to do something like that again. If I could think of something just as quirky, perhaps, that could sort of neuter the difficulty down a little bit. You know, I'd like to do something like that where I can create a really cool fight. Only the difference being maybe that kind of fight is the map's closer and not the halfway point. You know, I felt more, you know, that was just a simple thing. Rev Room, Revs, 4 Archviles, God Spear, use the time to kill Vials and then dodge Revs. You know, use the God Spear as essentially a forced timer in a different kind of way, you know, something like that. Build a huge sector toilet and have a final big fight in it. I think Denjo Gami might have done that a few years ago and won a CAC award for it. Anyway, so I want to impart one little piece of Doom mapper experience to you, John. You and I are different. You have played absolute worlds of maps and made few. I have made absolute worlds of maps and played, well, more than a few, but not really all that many. I think you are trying to make something new to you. But almost no one has played as many maps as you have. Well, whatever. Almost no one has been exposed to so many ideas. I don't know about that. That's probably... Keep in mind that even though I've been exposed to many ideas, that doesn't mean I take them all in. And so many ideas are just bland average. It's okay to try a little less hard to be original. I don't necessarily just want to be original. I just want to, you know, do a map that is fun to play. You know, one of the things that I like is playing a map that is fun to play. Playing through Firebox, for instance, for me, is fun. I have to save scum the final room, sure, but it's fun to see how the fights work out, the design. I like doing stuff like that, getting the players to dance to my puppet strings, creating fights where they have to do things a little differently, but it's not like unobvious what you gotta do, you know. I like that kind of thing where it's a difficult fight, but there's always a way to win, where you got a lot of movement options, you know. I think that's the main thing I was proud of the Firebox final room, is the fact that I created this big-ass slaughter fight, while not massively difficult-ish. No one complained about ammo balance. No one complained about health balance. No one felt it was unfair. And I had people of all skills, ranging from the Mr. Zools and the Derricks to other people. You know, a lot of people liked that final room because it was creative and it was balanced well. And because of that, I was able to get away with putting together a slaughter fight, which is ridiculously hard. Find a map that you enjoy but nobody has heard of, just rip it off. You can borrow from maps that you've enjoyed. Power is a map that takes place in a big sector toilet, no one's knows about, just do that. I like I want to make a map that's similar to like a Rook's Sucker Punch. As I said, that's an inspiration for me in terms of the size. Like an Alfredo map, even Alfredo with that level of sort of that fine balance of quality, while the maps are relatively small size. That's the kind of stuff. That's something I'd want to be able to make. Something that is like hard but fair. That would be a sweet spot. I'm not necessarily trying to make something original because that's almost impossible in Doom. Unless you're very good at the technical side of things, or I just want to make something that's fun to play. But I also don't have to spend 2 months making it either. So it's going to be small scale fight fun. That's it. So I really want to get that done. So you're going to see me do a lot of mapping streams this month. Hopefully it won't go into December, but who knows what fucking happens. But that's the plan anyway. Mapping streams until it's done. If I sort of go all over the place and deviate, I will lose focus, and I don't want to do that. I had to do it with Firebox, where I had to keep going. I gotta force myself to open up that Doom builder, come up with ideas, and just map, create this, create that. Play something in between every so often to keep your gameplay element, but basically just map until it's finished. So that's gonna be it, and it's gonna be a simpler map. It's gonna take a lot less time to build. If it gets done in a week, it gets done in a week. I don't really care. I don't want to make a map that is huge. I want to make a small map and get it finished, have it work, and then just get it done so it's out the way. That's pretty much it. I have to be honest, I just kind of want to get a map done so I don't have to worry about it, and then I can get back to all the other stuff Hey, Poyopan. Welcome to the Sweet State. Number 40. This is a monthly update State of the Channel series. I'm just talking about the mapping streams I'm going to be doing for the next month or so on this channel. Doom mapping stuff. So, yeah, that's the first big thing I'm going to do. I might even do one tomorrow, but there is something else that might delay that a little bit. I will get to that in a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe I'll talk about that sooner. So yeah, if you like mapping streams, I'm doing a lot of them very soon. This month. Hopefully not next month, but if needs be, next month too. Has to be done by the end of the year, so, I need it done. Let me just sort of I might mention it now, actually, since I have sort of segued nicely to it. Put a bit of a save there onto the file. So, oop, not that one. Oop, no, not that one. Not yet, anyway. No. Where is it? There we go. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Uncle Bowl update. The Uncle Bowl update. The monthly thing between me and Ann Mutt that has been going on for this year. So a brief overview for those who don't know what this is at this point. Basically, the Uncle Bowl is a contest between myself and the user known as Ann Mutt that revolves around the Doom World Iron Man League, which is a monthly series, a monthly event where people play a map on one life and have to complete it as fast as far as possible. Between myself and Mutt, since we are both recently have become uncles, we have revived an old rivalry from the earlier days of said competition, which was called the Brit Bowl. We turn it into the Uncle Bowl. And the idea is that whichever one of us gets the furthest each month gets a point. And the first person to get to 7 points wins the contest, because there's only 12 months in a year. And I'm afraid to say this, but the contest is now over. The Uncle Bowl is no more. For there is a winner. And it is not me. It is Mutt. He has won the Uncle Bowl. Let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Mutt for winning the Uncle Bowl. So, obviously, yesterday, myself and Mutt both did attempts on the recent Iron Man, which was Glaive 1 and 2. I had no chance to practice it, but I still managed to beat 10 maps. Unfortunately, Mutt managed to beat 12 maps. He managed to complete Glaive 1 and died on map 4 of Glaive 2, whereas I had died on map 8 of Glaive 1 and had died on map 3 of Glaive 2. So, by virtue of that, considering we're both playing blind, and neither of us had really seen it before, so he won, which sets his score at 7-3, which means he's won the Uncle Bowl. So that's it. The Uncle Bowl's over. What a disappointment I have been in this contest. I have to be honest. I had so many chances to make this more of a contest. And I didn't. It just never happened. It never was much of a contest. It was just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. I should never have went and beat me on my own map. I should have submitted a demo where I had won. I should never have made that mistake on Alien Vendetta on map 10. One of my all-time favourite maps, Toxic Touch, the way I did. I should never have been I should never have been shocked by that Scythe 2 map 10 exit. That was some bullshit that I had practiced on. I actually practiced Scythe 2 and I got punished by having an event occur I didn't account for. Those were 3 opportunities that if I had taken even just 1 or 2 of them and gone on to win, the contest would have remained close. But instead it was just, not really punishing or scoring well enough in the contest, I mean, granted, I did practice miasma and criticality, mainly miasma, to get a score on that one where I won, just. And I did manage to get further on Resurgence somehow, but I'm really disappointed. I really thought the Uncle Bowl would be a lot closer. In the past, in the previous Brit Bowl, when I directly competed with Mutt several years ago, although Mutt did storm off to a lead, it was a lot closer. There was a lot more interest and hype around it, The fact that I pulled it back to 6-6 in the end and it was another tie that year in 2017. But this just feels like a bit of a damp squib, I mean, Volt, you came up with this awesome picture, which will now just be historically archived for me to look back on and shed a tear in 10 years' time when I look back at this and go, the Uncle Bo, such a disappointment. I couldn't even keep it going until fucking December. But, yeah. So, because I lost the Uncle Bo, the prize for Mutt, which we did determine last month, is that I will be playing a selection of Mutt's very own maps. Which, now that I think about it, considering Mutt makes some good maps, doesn't sound that punishing, really. Since I've played a few, and he does make some good maps. But, you know, I'm sure he could find something. I don't know. But, yeah, that's basically what we could come up with. So, I will be playing a collection of Mutt's maps, which can be difficult sometimes, as soon as he comes up with a list, which he hasn't done yet. But as soon as he comes up with that list of the maps, I will be playing them on stream immediately. It will be the same sort of ruling as this ongoing target, which I'm never going to hit this year. And probably not next year at this rate. So, Mutt will be compiling a list of maps for me to play of his own collection. He has quite a few. I think there's quite a few I haven't played of his, so there'll be some surprises. And I will be playing them as soon as he comes up with the list and gives it to me. I mean, it took us until October to come up with a prize incentive for the Uncle Bo. We were pretty much just doing it for fun up to that point. But anyway, I mean, if I had somehow managed to pull off the bullshit comeback, I would have made Mutt play 2 maps from Sunder. Grinder and Hive Mother, which I consider to be the most annoying maps of of old Sunder. God knows what the maps are like now, with Insane Gazebo having recently released map 20 to playtesters, I believe. He has made it up to map 20. So he's slowly getting there. Another 2 years, he'll probably have the full 32 map megawatt he was planned to make a decade plus. God help us all. So with that sorted, the Uncle Bo now decided. I'm not so sure if I'm gonna keep playing Ironmans or not at this point, since there's no kind of hook for the rest of the year, at least. Like, the Uncle Bo was the hook. It was the pull. You know, it was the thing to, you know, the intrigue. I have to be honest with you. I don't know anyone else who's been watching the Ironmans over the last few years or plays Doom or whatever. It feels like the interest in the Ironman format has waned significantly since the Ironman started back in 2016. You know, when the Iron Man first came out, it was kind of a cool thing, and people used to love taking part with it when Alfonso was running it, and people used to love it. It was like something to look forward to, and I certainly used to love the concept a lot, but it just feels like recently the spark's gone from the Iron Man for whatever reason. It just feels like, you know, there weren't a lot of people who made submissions for the Iron Man League this month, let alone the Iron Eagle, which is the spin-off. Did anyone else notice that? Because it does feel like, to me, like the Iron Man League has lost its spark. And no one really, you know, it's like all the interest in it just waned over time or something. Like, people take part occasionally, but the sort of the communal spark that led quite a lot of people to play in it and talk about it or whatever. I've lost interest in it as well on occasion. You know, I felt my interest wane a little bit, but this Uncle Bo kept me going for this year because like, I gotta compete against Mutt. I gotta compete. But when that's gone, you know, and with some of the picks that have been coming in, all I will say is that if I see another pick that is anywhere close to World Orifice, I am not fucking touching it. You know? And I have taken part in every single Iron Man and Iron Eagle since they both started. I haven't missed one. But I am actually thinking about whether I want to pick and choose when I participate from now on. I still like the idea of the format. I just might not do it every month. Honestly, I might decide to man, chat's quiet tonight. I might decide just to choose a when to participate, basically. Because some months, with some of the picks, I just can't be bothered, you know. Maybe I have lost interest in the Iron Man. Maybe the previous sort of inconsistency of the pick quality isn't help. I certainly have pointed that out with some of the weird picks that have been flung up. But I haven't made a decision on that yet. But I certainly know it will be one less regular monthly thing to do, and I could use that time to do something else instead. But I do need to think about that, and I will make a decision of that weight. Obviously, first decision will be what is the new Iron Man, you know. That will probably help my decision, at least for this month, whatever gets picked for the Iron Man for November. It does not look like there is a thread up yet for it. There's a thread up for... Oh, wow, there's all kinds of stuff on the Doomworld mods and mods at the moment. Including another no speed, no SP3. Oh boy, I wonder what all the Slaughter map enthusiasts on Twitch are going to be playing for the next week, this week. Much fewer of those, maybe. Wow, it's quite. I've not really been keeping an eye on the mods and mods, to be honest, for a bit. But, there you go. So, yeah, wow, chat is really quiet. I'm surprised no one has anything to say about Iron Mans and stuff like that, you know. Like, do you enjoy my Iron Man streams? Do you want me to keep playing them? Are you happy, you know, I don't know if people enjoy them still to watch, you know. I mean, I think the Uncle Bowl has been interesting, but I know that maybe with some of the Iron Eagles, I've been kind of... Iron Man is rubbish, Superman all the way. Okay, thanks, Dave. Thank you so very much, Dave. Appreciate it. You know? Appreciate it. Oh, so useful. That really tells me a lot. So if we called them the Superman League, then you'd be happy for it, right? You know, the Doomworld Superman League, where we fly around and, you know, I'd almost be tempted to sort of like do a mock-up, but then I realised if I played the Superman theme, I'd probably get DMCA'd, so never mind. No, not really. Okay. That's fair. I don't like anything, to be honest. You must like something, Dave. There must be something out there that you like, you know. You used to like Tomb Raider. That's something. Okay, we like sector toilets. Okay. Sector toilets. You could make a map based on Flushed Away or something. Bareback fish is cooking. Okay, cool. Well, you get back to your fish. Get back to your fishy fish. So no one really has any opinion on the Iron Man stuff that I do? Now, there's 10 people in chat and no one's like got anything to say. I mean, I've been doing Iron Mans for 4.5 years. And is this the kind of stuff do you enjoy it? Do you play the Iron Mans or what? I don't know. I'm looking for something that's... But I enjoy your Iron Man streams. Yeah, I mean, when I'm in the mood for one, when it's a proper thing that I care for, I agree that they are good. But the problem is that you've seen me with a couple of Iron Eagles, particularly. I sometimes just don't care whatsoever. I don't get invested into a run. I'm like, oh, I'm dead, whatever. I don't give a fuck. And sometimes I do want to get far, but as I said, that's why I've wondered why if the spark has gone from my enthusiasm with the idea or the things themselves. I don't mind doing the Iron Eagle, but again, like I could scrap both of these and just use the stream slot for I could use that because that's why it takes up a stream slot to do it. It's like I could do something else with that extra night, a day or whatever. But I don't know. Hey, World Misfit, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub to Luca Jins. I hope Luca Jins is a person, a human being. Well, as long as you don't replace the IM with visual novel stuff, yes. Well, I do have one visual novel left to play. And that is something I'm going to be... I was going to segue onto that. Guess I could do it now. So the bottom line is, because the Uncle Bo is now over, visual novels, bad. Yes, I know, Bofers. I know no one wants to see the visual novels, but there's one visual novel left to play. But as I said, after that, the visual novels are not being done anymore. I subbed you to her, actually. Oh, right, okay. So it's a remote thing. I get you. Okay, fair enough. I thought like you just sent a random worker in the chat and I'm like, oh, I'm going to sub that person. But okay, that's fine. That's a smarter decision. How you doing anyway, Bofers? Hope you're having a good day. So the bottom line is, Uncle Bo is finished. There are no plans to do another one at the moment. And my participation in Iron Mans and Iron Eagles going forward will be under question. It depends on how I feel. And to be quite honest, if the Iron Man pick is complete trash by Derek, I'm not playing it. If I'm not playing another World Orifice where I waste 2 hours of my life for some shitty experimental war that doesn't belong in that thing. It has to be something that's actually reasonable. I might just pick and choose. I might just say, like, don't fancy this pick. I'll do it next month. But I'll see. I don't know. I've not made a decision yet either way, but I'm saying is my continued participation is under review, really. Because I don't know if the spark's still there. It might still be. We'll see. Right, anyway. Now we can... Sorry, I'll just setting up something for a bit later on. Do every second month or something. It depends if I still care for the Iron Man at all. Both is the thing. I sometimes do actually get invested, but sometimes I don't. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to see if I still feel the same way when I don't have an Uncle Bo in front of me. That's the thing that's going to be different for November. You know, I don't have a contest to play on the side. I'm just doing it for the sake of practicing. So we'll see. I also do like the idea of being the only one who's ever played every Iron Man, though. The 100% participation thing sounds fun. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a decision later this month. So moving on. So Mr. Furby, how's the mum doing, sweet? Well, my mum's doing fine now, Lord Misfit. She is recovering quite nicely. And as I said, I think it's because of that the streaming is going to be going back to normal-ish. From this point, there's no more uncertainty. I will be getting back to my usual schedule of streaming quite a few weekday nights, weekend, whenever really, you know. Tired today, as I said earlier a few times. So, yeah, she's doing fine. So, the other streams that I'll be looking to do going forward. That's a nice demo. The other streams I'll be looking to do going forward for this month and the next is I will be playing the Letter, which is a visual novel game that I was going to play for October since it's horror-themed visual novel, but I didn't get time to get around to it. Regardless, I'm going to get around to it. Now, I know no one likes visual novels. I know it's going to be very underpopulated, but it's something I need to play and complete. Thanks for the host, Lord Misfit. It's something I'm going to be playing and doing as the next other game. So it's done. So it's out the way. So there'll be no more visual novels after that point. There'll be none left. As I said in a previous Sweet Stay, after this, I am not playing any visual novel game unless they are under 10 hours long. Because although I don't mind visual novels, I know they're not a good fit for the channel. I know they are boring and no one comes to watch them. So there's no point. You know. I'm trying to get people to come to the stream. I'm not trying to drive them away with things that they're not interested in. You know, visual novels and me aren't a good fit. But I am going to play this one because it was on the list and it's staying on the list. And it's a horror-themed one, so at least it might be a little spooky and have a few interesting gore spots. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what I'm going to play next, just so it's out the way. They only got all the interesting stuff after that, you know. All the cool games. You know, the action-packed ones to come after that. No more text crawls. So I'll be starting that soonish. Alongside the mapping, probably. I might play some Doom stuff. I have a few things I need to kind of take a look at playtest-wise. There are a few things I did say I'd take a look at playtest-wise. There's a couple of things. Oh, I need to... I'm putting a... Oh, isn't that a work in progress? I'm gonna change that actually. I don't know if I actually said I'd play that. I might play it at a later point. But there's a few other things I am gonna check out, and I think I said I would. So there will be a bit of play testing at one point. For sure. And obviously, in terms of the Doom request list, the next one I said I was going to play was Spectrum by Capellan, which I think will be a possible one-stream playthrough. We'll see. So that's coming up next as well. I've not forgotten about the Doom WOD request list. I will soon be trying to get around to the final Hexen mod, so that the Hexen part of that list is gone, and it's just all Doom from that point on, because you all just come here for Doom. Mostly and stuff anyway. So that's going to be kind of it for the next month. It's basically going to... I'm sorry that I missed this, but what was the final results of Mark's run of the Iron Man? Well, I cleared 10 maps, and he cleared 12. He survived all of Glaive, and he died on map 4 of Glaive 2. So he has 2 maps more. Therefore, he wins the Uncle Bowl 7-3. And therefore, the Uncle Bowl is over. And because of that, I am debating whether to take part in any further Ironmans and Iron Eagles by default from now on. I might just decide to not bother sometimes. We'll see. Especially in busy months where I need every streaming spot. But we'll see. I've not made a decision on that yet. Also, because of that, I'll be playing a collection of Mutt's maps as soon as he gets a list out to me. But that list hasn't come up yet, so it happens when it happens. I know that Mutt is quite busy with real life stuff, so I have no idea when the list is coming through, but as soon as it comes through, I'll be playing them immediately because it's my punishment for losing the Uncle Bowl. So we'll see what Mutt has in store. But anyway, my basic streaming plans for the rest of this month at least, and probably going into the next month, is I'm going to be mapping a lot to get the maximum Doom World Maximum Project map done. That's the main focus for the month. I'll be playing the letter to try and get that done before the end of the year as well. I'll be playing some Doom stuff, Spectrum, maybe that Hexen map. And obviously, as we come towards December, fingers crossed, there is one request that I definitely will be playing. I bet you can't guess what that might be. What I'd like to play around December. You know, the only directly Christmas themed. Yeah, Serious Cacodemon nailed it. I am absolutely hoping to play that in December. So I'll be trying to plan around that accordingly. I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be a real treat of a playthrough. Because it just looks... The Santa, maybe? Hey, Xiaomi's no. H to H Xmas. Saving it for the time of year where it's the most appropriate. You know, when we'll all be knee-deep in the Christmas spirit and Mariah Carey overdose syndrome, we'll be fed up of hearing a fucking song every 2 minutes. And all the other Christmas classics will be respectively either fed up of hearing at that point, you know. So that's basically my plan. And oh yeah, there is one other thing I might be planning to do as well, and that is poker. So aside from the letter and mapping and some Doom things here and there, I am thinking of doing more poker stuff. So another thing that did happen in October, as Lord Misfit can testify since he was there for both of them, is I did do 2 poker streams in the afternoon. My first ever one and a shorter one on PokerStars, where I played some real money sit and go $1 tournaments. Oh, well, someone was there for the other one. Maybe it was somebody else. But anyway, I did 2 poker streams. The inaugural one and a much shorter one that lasted about an hour. Where I didn't win anything in either. But yeah, there was a little bit of interest. How many map requests do I have left to play? Let me see. I have the Hexen mod Walpurgis, and then after that there's there's 10 single map requests for me to play, including Bastion of Chaos, which is going to be quite an endeavour, I believe, as well as Entropy. There's the Doom mod of Intensify with Vanilla Doom 2. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 multiple map / megawatt requests. So 24, 10, 34, 35, 36 total. There are 36 individual requests remaining. And keep in mind also that with some of them there will be multiple parts, because in the case of Lost Civilization 2, I'll be playing the original Lost Civilization as well. That was requested by Jasker. And I will also be playing all 3 parts of Return to Hadron by Cannonball. So effectively, I guess you could say 39. 36 technically, but 39 in total. So yeah, that's how many I have left. Quite a bit. But there isn't really a rush to get through the request list for the Doom stuff. I'm not like dying to just get on, like get rid of it like with the other games list, where I am trying to sort of hopefully get through it by the end of next year. The Doom World list could take its time a little bit. So anyway, poker streams. I did some. A few people liked them and wanted to see more. So I am planning to do another poker stream in the evening, especially since I have this regional final coming up in less than 3 weeks. So I will be spending an evening or two doing some online practice. I need to get as many practice opportunities as I can between now and the 21st, both in both in offline games and online games, to try and sort of keep my poker mind engaged a bit. So there will basically be one evening slot poker game to see if a few more people are interested in them or not. Because a few of you did like them, I believe. Even if I didn't do very well in any of them. But poker streams are gonna, at least one is gonna happen in the next few weeks. So that's something else I'll be juggling up to the regionals. Once the regional final's done and whatever happens, I'll be backing off a bit from that kind of stuff and focusing on just winding down to Christmas, I guess. I liked your poker streams. They were almost not rubbish. They were almost not rubbish. Wow, that's a compliment from you, Dave. So, I don't know how many of you are interested in the poker stuff, but that's a thing that's going to at least be around for a little bit, I know like King Dime wanted to see a poker stream, and one or two of the others did as well, so it's there. It's an option, if I get a poor reaction to the evening one, I might just keep it offline next time, but I want to try a few different things if I can get away with it. I don't want the channel to stagnate too much, like as you do. But I'm aware I need to get back into the proper streaming thing, because October's been very poor. And this bloody target is just kind of hanging around for a while, which is it's great for me. It means I don't have to worry about playing Sunder anytime soon. But the threat of playing Sunder should motivate me to keep my A game up. I feel it's just kind of hanging there for now. So that's the plan in terms of the poker stuff. So expect to see at least one evening stream, maybe two. We'll see how things go with everything else this month. So what's that thing called where other players watch your stream so they can see your cards? You mean ghosting, Dave? I don't think I need to worry about that at the micro stakes levels I play. But if I ever was to get into a position where I was playing like a semi-serious game, I would obviously have a stream delay incorporated onto the stream so that people couldn't do that. Well, you probably won't. I can just add a stream delay. But I won't do that for micro stakes games because no one's really going to care. Playing $1 micro stakes games, I'm not exactly like if I was playing for like say $10 in a serious game, so I would obviously have a stream delay incorporated. But to do that, first of all, I have to win. I have to build up a bankroll. So, you know, we're a long way off that possibility. Long, long, long way. You don't play poker anyway. Okay, that's good. So yeah, that's going to be kind of the general plan for the next month and a half. It's mapping, mainly, until it's done. The weather, get the visual novel stuff out the way, and then we can play exciting stuff from then on. The Doom stuff, and a poker stream here or there. Sound good? I hope so. I hope it sounds like a decent crack, if you will. And so... Yeah, thanks, Mark Misser. That really tells me a lot. And so, we're at that part of the stream. Sounds rubbish. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll play Thief 2 immediately. Yeah, Garrick. No, I can't do that God's voice. Hug, cherry, and hydrate. Okay. Do that. Wolfie games? Oh yeah. Well, as I said, Dave, I haven't forgot about the Wolfenstein games you gave me. But I need to get through my other game list first. Why do you think I want to get through them so badly? So I can start playing other stuff. I'd be a bit more... But I haven't forgot about them. Dave's punishment is to play Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection on Legend. That sounds pretty hard. So, hi, Cherry. Hello, Cherry. How you doing? Whee! Yes, I know. Last time, Cherry, you were on the sweet state, you broke my camera. Remember? When you were also named as well. According to my notes from the last sweet state, you know, you were named... And then you broke my tried to break my camera because someone commented on your eye. You know? No one's done that this time, Cherry. It's fine. Now look, let's just have a sweet state where you appear and nothing happens, okay? Okay? Cherry? What are you doing, Cherry? 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 No, Cherry, no, not again. No. Once only. Me. Yes. Someone's calling you cute in the comments. The new viewer, Polypan, saying, "What a cute cackle you are." I think they seem to like that. Alright, don't scare them. Don't get too close to the camera. Hey, no, Cherry, what are you doing? Stop it. No, you can't go through. You're not fucking Sadako. You can't go, or some analog horror creature. You can't go through the webcam. Stop it, Cherry. Thank you. Hey, Cherry, now go with the cam so we can try. Don't encourage him. Alright? We don't need that to happen again. Oh. Why you say that's not like something Draucom would say. As Draucom will probably appear in the chat and ask me to do the same thing right now. Watch the Weldon Files already. I watched the Local 58 video. Anyway, so I need to hug Cherry. Alright, come on. Hug the Caco. Hug the Caco. Right, now go back into your closet. No. You're not destroying the camera. Not this time. That was a one-time deal. Oh, you... For fuck's sake. You missed. You silly Caco demon. God, get back here. Ugh. Bad. Get back in your closet. Right now. No more of this nonsense. You tried to sabotage my camera again. I'm not having it. Alright. Thank you for the 50 bits, Mod Misfit. Yeah, I got it from the Bethesda Europe store, Power Pan. It cost me about 40 quid. Alright, when combined with the shipping. Well, about 35, I think. But, you know, I'm a Doom streamer. I need some kind of proof I'm a, you know... I want a few other Doom streamers had like a Kako. I want a Kako. I have a Kako. It's called Cherry. He was named last month on this previous sweet state. Oh, I'm going to mention that my plush Kako is accompanied by a plush King Slime in my room. I've beaten every single G&G game ever made twice. Blindfolded drunk. Okay. John, you murdered my laptop. How did I murder your laptop, Pineapple? I step away for 5 minutes and come back and the dang thing is all frozen up. Had to restart it. I am not responsible for your laptop deciding to die on you. I do not possess the ability to murder your laptop. Maybe it's because you got Fortnite installed on it. That might be the reason. I'm not giving you any V-Bucks. No. Demand compensation. You have no proof that I destroyed your laptop. I do not, in fact, have Fortnite installed on it. Well, I do not, in fact, have access to your laptop. But anyway... So, we are now at that point of the stream where it is time for, and I still wish I'd get the Danganronpa clip for this, but I can't. Maybe I could find a way of half-assing it. Maybe, but time for questions from the audience. So, if there are any questions that you want to ask... hair? Oh, I guess Cherry is a... what do you call it? Asexual, I guess. Time for any questions from the audience. So if there's anything you want to ask me, now is the time. How does Cherry type with only her teeth? Very carefully is the answer to that. And let me tell you, it is... it takes a lot of effort for Cherry to pull it off, you know? I mean, Cherry doesn't type that often, seeing that they prefer to fly around the place and spit energy balls and knock over webcams, apparently. Typing really is a low priority for Cherry. I did not murder your laptop, Pineapple. Your laptop murdered itself. Global warming. Are you for or against? Am I for or against global warming? You know what? I have an answer to that question. Let's see if I can find the clip. Oh, here we go. Here's my answer to that. I hope it plays the correct clip.
The planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference?
Oh, that's not the clip I was looking for, but basically he says the planet is fine, the people are fucked. And that's pretty much my mentality to it. If you want an opinion. We can obviously do something to delay that bit, but that's my general consensus on it. You know. I did not murder your fucking laptop, Pineapple. This is going to jeopardize your chances of me ever downloading Fortnite and playing co-op with you, by the way. If you accuse me of being a laptop murderer, I'm going to be less incentivized to want to play with you. Hint, hint. So you're for global warming then. I'll let Greta Thunbergs know. I'm not really for global warming. I just know that whatever happens, it's already too late. It's going to happen anyway. All we can do is delay it by however long we can delay it for. But ultimately, at the end of it, you know, the planet will be fine. It's us who will be screwed over, which is why we need to go to space and expand to new colonies on Mars and other planets and learn intergalactic space travel and have space stations and do all the cool sci-fi shit. And make it not sci-fi anymore, but actually real. That's what I want to see. I want to see humans land on Mars. I've always been a fan of space. Space! But anyway, I'm not going to delve into that. So, make matter of application and teleportation real. Yeah. That would be cool, but that will not be happening in our lifetimes. Maybe the lifetime of the lifetime in 100, 200 years or something. We are literally in the middle of what will be the most dramatic mass extinction event in the history to play as more and more fucking rocks. Yeah, and unless we can magically find this, unless we can go into space, we can't do a damn thing about it, Pineapple. It's already happening. It's going to continue to happen, and it's not going to stop happening. It is going to continue. So, we go to space. That's it. And we find ways to delay that inevitable extinction event by doing sensible things. But basically, you go for the space. That's my thing. I'm with Doc McCoy on teleportation, not shooting my molecules through space. I'm pretty sure Doc McCoy probably went into teleportation a few times, Dave. Not that I've watched Star Trek. At all, really. He did, but he hated it. Yeah, escape if this kind of thought and has been deviated vacuum instead. Well, the alternative is that we all just die and humans die out as a species and that's it. But we are just a speck in the universe anyway, so whatever, you know. So, well, so be it. I'm not going to be around for the event. I'm not going to be around. None of us are going to be around for the Inevitable event anyway. The only thing I could do is just try and entertain and make a few people's lives happier until then. That is my purpose, and that's all that matters to me. You know, try and make a few people's lives a bit more entertained. Try and bring a few smiles, inspire a few people. Try and be a nice person. That's all I can do. Well, could I at least could I at least wait until, you know, I get my own place, Pineapple, before it happens? I mean, if it wants to happen about 2 days after I get my own apartment, fine. But I'd appreciate it if it waited a bit, you know, just a little bit. If it wants to happen when I'm like 70 years old and I can barely remember what a good Doom mod is, and I'm accidentally thinking that, you know, I'm sort of forgetting all my Doom mods and stuff, and I'm still probably streaming on Twitch, so I can't. Excuse me. I'm just saying, except for the entertainment. Be nice. I miss your weather reports, Dave. I still remember your channel when you used to stream. It was just fun. What? 20 years? Pineapple, we don't have to wait 20 years. We're getting refugees now. From stuff not even related to climate. But anyway, I'm not going to delve into that rabbit hole. I don't talk about that kind of stuff on this channel so much anymore. Even on the sweet state. So, are there any other questions? The only thing I want to see is humans land on Mars in my lifetime. See a space expansion. I'll be happy with that. I'm not your dancing monkey, John. Now show up and give me a banana. Well, I have a bit of a problem with that, Dave. How would I give you the banana? Now, the Doom reenactments would come later. Landing on Mars is a long step away from building a colony on Mars and Mars's moons, developing teleportation technology, and then, you know, you're thinking the 1969 moon landings. I want to see that, but on Mars in full color and HD. You know, and it'd be really awesome. And like everyone on the planet's talking about it. Like, wow, we're on Mars. And then some cool shit happens. Like maybe they find something unexpected or something weird happens or whatever. But anyway, it'd just be cool to see humans land on Mars. I just always like the idea of humans getting more invested in space and stuff. I mean, it's really cool. Well, Pineapple, I'm pretty sure trees and birds and crap will also probably survive. Or if they don't, they'll be reincarnated in the next cycle of the Earth or whatever. But anyway. Torrent a banana. You want me to torrent you a banana, Dave? Well, I can give you a banana right now. Let's see. And there. There's your banana. Now, eat the pixels. Eat those pixels. There you go, Dave. Did it. All done. All done. So, are there any other questions from the chat tonight? Maybe I will download Fortnite, actually. Then at least I can be set up for this co-op stream I might do. Maybe. Yummy, thanks. There you go. Solved Dave's problem. Woo, yeah. Awesome. And Sweet makes the first step into Fortnite culture and streaming. Well, I enjoyed doing the co-op streams of Morks Must Die with Pineapple. That was some fun stuff. Right, I think that's enough time to bed. Honestly, although you are usually joking with that, I am actually probably going to try to go to bed early tonight, you know, so I don't completely keyword is try to go to bed earlier tonight so I can get some sleep for tomorrow. I know, but I feel tower defense is a different genre from Battle Royale. But you've done both. Yeah, that's true. I have done both. Played Fall Guys enough. Well, it might be a different experience goofing around with someone, you know. I'm willing to perhaps try it once at least. And then if it completely sucks, then yeah, PUBG is not really much fun though for that kind of thing. I suspect with Fortnite there's a lot more opportunities to mess around and do goofy shit compared to a PUBG type game. For sure. So yeah, are there any other questions from the chat? Anyone? Anyone at all? Oh, I have a message. Oh, no, that's not it. Alright, it's just a message about the, I was only... No, off you go. No questions from the 6 people watching, apparently. Alright, well, I hope I've explained... I hope I've explained pretty well how I've been over October. I do apologize for the fact that I did say I'd be doing a lot of horror stuff, and I didn't really deliver a lot, but real life happens. But things should be a bit more back to normal now for the foreseeable future, and I will try to make up for it a bit this month. And obviously there'll be a lot of mapping streams coming up and stuff like that. So, got a lot of cool stuff I'm hopefully gonna get out for you. So yeah, thank you all for watching this sweet state. And who can we raid? Who shall we raid? What is... looks like Vortal's doing some Doom, so we'll raid Vortal again. I don't know what he's playing, but he's playing something Doom related, so we'll raid Vortal. So I'll catch you all tomorrow for something. Not sure what it will be. It might be a mapping stream if Mutt gets his list out. It might be that. It might be something else. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, bye.